Tell me
Morning.
how you're setting up for 2021 with the numbers that you put in the back end of 2020. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Manus. Well, we finished the year strong, and I'm pleased with that. We recorded 7% revenue growth, and we improved profitability versus 2019. Of course, we were affected by the pandemic. We saw strong deliveries for the acute care area, while, for example, elective procedures were still down, I think, as is well known in the market. 8% order growth in precision diagnosis is already indicative of what's to come in 2021. Also, 25 new customers signing up for long-term strategic partnerships just underlines that care providers are looking for innovation to drive better productivity, better health outcomes, but also looking to raise patient and staff experience. The staff was very much affected in 2020, and innovations like telehealth, health informatics can just make all the healthcare processes more effective, more efficient, but also better for patients and staff. 25 in one quarter, I don't recall that in my tenure, so I'm very pleased with that traction. These are all multi-year partnerships where customers will work closely with us, or we will work closely with the customers to help them achieve their transformative goals, because we all agree that healthcare has to change in the light of the pandemic, of course, but also going forward. And informatics and telehealth will feature strongly in that future.
Frans, can we get a sense from you in the fourth quarter? I want to understand the kind of cycle that we're in. Fourth quarter was a moment of reopening. Here we are, we're beginning to close down again in the first 20 days of January. Talk me through what that cycle of reopening looked like, and what can you tell me about these first 20 days, the yin and the yang of this cycle?
Yeah, Manus, I already referred to the fact that acute care is still very much top of the list, with hospitals struggling to cope with the patient load. In September, October, November, we saw elective procedures rise again, much to the level of 2019. But in December and also now in January, they are on average about 30% down versus 2019. And that just shows that hospitals cannot do their normal work. And then maybe finishing off with consumers at home, as they are locked down, there's a strong interest to invest in their home environment, whether that's kitchen appliances or personal care or oral care. So we saw 5% growth for our personal health business in the quarter, and I would expect also in 2021 to continue to see fairly robust growth for personal health.
Frans, how do the costs in the business look? We're trying to speak to CEOs and understand the implications and ramifications for running businesses in a post-COVID or in an exit-COVID. Are you experiencing higher costs in any way across the business, staff or supply chain?
Yes, actually, it's a great question. Of course, just the health and safety measures are expensive. We also see that in the supply chain, shipping costs are currently much elevated versus the past. These are things that we need to cope with. At Philips, we are always looking for our own transformation to drive productivity, and we were able to deliver on our productivity targets despite some of these headwinds. This is also why we were able to expand profitability in the quarter. And then for the whole year, of course, we were flat over 2019, which, given the circumstances, I think is a very decent outcome. And then it sets us up well for the future. Now, one aspect that is often debated, what's the future of work? Will we go back to the offices once the pandemic is under control? And we very much think that, people need to come together, need to socialize. That is important for innovation. And Philips is an innovation
Indeed.
powerhouse, and we need people to interact with each other.
Frans, you detailed very clearly to Anne-Marie and I the last time we were together about the cancellation of the order from last year. Yes, the market would like to know, have you managed to sell that inventory? But more importantly for me, what will the new Biden administration mean for Health America? Are you more optimistic and more bullish that a Biden administration will be an alpha for your business?
Well, so let's briefly touch upon the ventilator situation. That was a very large order that was curtailed. In the meantime, we have seen fairly strong demand from international markets and also upcoming markets. And we continue to chase and look for ways to help all the care providers in the world. So I am moderately optimistic that we will find a good place, at least for a large part of that cancelled order. Now, your question on the U.S. market, clearly transformation will have to happen to make healthcare more productive. Many of those large-scale strategic partnerships that we were able to sign are also in the United States. I am hopeful that access to care under the Biden administration will be a focal point, because there are still so many people that do not have access to the care that they need. While, of course, we are all in agreement that we need to make healthcare more productive and affordable.